Okay, there you have it. A little entry of Jesus Christ Superstar, the original first version, in 1970. The first kind of rock opera, I think it was by Andrew Lloyd Webber. It's one of his most successful at the time, and it started him on a roll right up to this day. Okay, very good afternoon to you, caller. Welcome to the program, All About Cars. Hello, are you there? Matt, we got him queued up? Yep, okay. No, we don't have someone there. Okay. Very good afternoon to you, caller. Are you there?
Good afternoon. That's not the type of music you usually play, Ralph. That music was absolutely horrendous.
Well, that's from a rock opera.
That's just my opinion. It was horrendous. It almost sounds like the type of stuff we're going through in America today. It just sounds so chaotic and wild, and it sounds like out of your mind music. Only my opinion. Thank you.
Well, you're entitled to it, ma'am. You're entitled to it. But it does depict the season. For those of you who are aware of this rock opera that they did, Jesus Christ Superstar, was done in 1970 by Andrew Lloyd Webber, had immense success. And it's one of the tunes, and if it doesn't ring with you, it doesn't ring with you. That's the way life is. Very good afternoon to you, caller.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Ralph.
Yes.
Hey, Jerry, how are you?
Hi, Jerry. How are you?
Good, good. I'm calling you. Do we mind if I throw in a flash plug for the spaghetti dinner next Saturday?
Yes, I have the note here. You've got, next the spaghetti dinner.
Spaghetti dinner,
I know,
right?
for your Bye Bye Birdie play coming up in May.
The Bye Bye Birdie we're doing in April, May 19, 21, and 2, yeah.
Correct. And
great family musical, great entertainment. No redeeming value, but just sheer fun and good music, you know.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah,
you guys do some good
But
music.
I want to mention the spaghetti dinner next Saturday, if I may.
Certainly may. Go ahead.
Okay. Couple of points that make our spaghetti dinner just a little bit different from some of the others. Like, for instance, we have a special secret recipe, of course, that our chef has come up and has concocted. It is absolutely wonderful. No long waiting lines. The serving lines go right through. It's all designed to move very quickly. Of course, it's an all-you-can-eat. We use real plates and silverware, nothing plastic.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful, comfortable dining room, the new refurbished VoteTech cafeteria. Very, very, very comfortable and very spacious, as I said. Yeah. You can take a quiet spot and sit by yourself, or get a couple, or bring the whole family and grab a table. We have include salads, scallop bread, cold drinks, coffee, very large assortment of desserts. Mm-hmm. The whole cast will be there to help you with anything you need. If you've gotten anything, get you a drink or a dessert. We have regular spaghetti and wheat spaghetti. We serve from 4 to 7, and it's just $10. And just to keep the life here alive at Vogue. That's the purpose of it. This is our 10th year. It's been very successful over the years. So it's next week from today, the day before Easter.
Starts at
Saturday,
5 o'clock, right? 8 what time?
We serve from 4 to 7.
Oh, 4 to 7, okay.
Get the doors open around 3:30 or so.
Well, I got my tickets, Jerry.
I know you do, and I look forward to seeing you here, Ralph.
Yeah, so that's just a week from today, and it'll be from 4 to 7. Now, is there something secret on the sauce?
Yeah, he doesn't divulge that.
But it's the spaghetti sauce that's his secret.
Yeah, the spaghetti sauce that in the past, everybody has really enjoyed.
So it's a little bit customized. It's just not
meatballs. He makes the meatballs as well.
Oh, that's good to hear, because sometimes you go to these events and it's just very generic food. You know, you're being fed by Cisco Corporation, so it's good to hear that there's a little bit of.
Yeah, he starts right from scratch.
Oh, that's excellent. Well, then it's for $10. It's a deal, folks. You ought to, get out there.
Yeah, it is.
Jerry, if people wanted tickets,
cold drinks, you get salad, garlic bread, desserts, all that.
Jerry, if they wanted tickets, do they call the 998-3321 number?
Tickets for the musical, yes.
Well, for the music.
508-998-3321, extension 424.
What about for tickets?
Reservation there. Yeah. Yeah, they can call that number.
What about for tickets?
We'll be starting to actually sell tickets in the lobby in another couple of weeks on Thursday.
No, but what about the spaghetti tickets? How do people get those?
Oh, spaghetti tickets. You can get them from a cast number, or just come to the door.
So can you just show up that evening and just buy the ticket then, right?
Yeah, sure. You can just show up and buy the ticket there.
All right. So you don't have to go out of your way.
Cast number, yeah.
So anybody who wants to go to spaghetti dinner, put on by VoteTech Theater Group next Saturday from 4 to 7, And it's not just generic food. It's a better quality, higher quality, a little more ambiance. And for $10, it's a deal.
It is very good. Yeah.
Well, Jerry, very good.
So it's just to support the theater company at the school.
Correct.
So
good. I support it.
Ralph.
No problem, Jerry. No problem at all. Thank you. Thank you for the announcement. Bye-bye. Very good afternoon to you, caller.
Ralphie.
Billy.
How you doing?
Oh, better than I deserve. How you doing?
All right. Hey, ain't my pot coming yet for my caddy?
Yep, we can do it sometime next week or whenever you and I can get together.
Oh, very good, my man. So I can even up with you.
Ah, yeah, that's right. No problem.
You know?
No
I don't want you to think I'm running off on you.
Yeah. No.
Well, you know where I live, so I couldn't run anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So.
All right. Now listen, I want to make an announcement for next Saturday.
Next Saturday. Okay. What's up?
At Vietnam Veterans Recognition Day on the 26th, from 1 to 4, down at the Kennedy Building in Fort Rodman.
Okay. Vietnam Veterans Recognition Day. 1 to 4, did you say?
Yep, 1 to 4. That's when we recognize a lot of we get some Second World War veterans. We're giving some plaques out to and everything, and some Korean veterans, and, you know, all the war veterans we're trying to take care of.
Hey, Billy, can I make a suggestion?
What's that, sir?
After 4 o'clock, you all head up to New Bedford Vocational High School.
Yeah, get some to eat.
And go for $10. You get a nice spaghetti dinner with meatballs.
There you go.
There you go. So talk to the rank and file down there, and maybe give the boost to the kids and to Jerry's troop organization, so we have a little synergy.
There'll be some goodies down there, like sandwiches and some chips and some coffee and stuff like that. You know, a light time.
Don't let them eat too much, though. Let them head up to the boat for dinner.
We'll only put a couple sandwiches out. Say we run out.
Yeah. There you go.
So I haven't seen you for a while. How you doing?
I'm doing okay. Can't complain.
With this cold weather, how's your asthma doing?
Good. I've been very lucky so far, but usually it seems to, the change of the real seasons when the pollen breaks out and all that. We'll see.
Oh yeah, it's starting next month, I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, last year I had a rough spring, so. We'll see.
We've had a good winter so far.
Yes, it's been a blessing for working folk. It's been a blessing for working folk.
The heating bills have been pretty decent.
Yep, the heating bills, and you don't have to get out. And although this weekend might change, maybe a little bit of shoveling, but
but it ain't going to stay around because it's going to get too warm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Has a time up. Well, Ralph, I haven't been up there. What do you got for new cars you brought in? Anything I like?
Anything you like?
Yeah.
Mostly Jeep Grand Cherokees, which you should drive that new one. I think you'd be impressed with it. The new Jeep Grand Cherokee. We've brought in a couple of Kia Soul, a little Kia Soul, that little, like a little hatchback they have, a high-top hatchback.
Who makes that?
Koreans.
Oh, well, okay. That's why.
Yeah, it's built by the Koreans.
It's a Kia, in other words.
You got it.
Yeah.
Kia.
Yeah.
Yep.
What do you got? Anything American cars?
Americana.
That you brought in?
Americana. I got a Chrysler Town and Country van we brought in, a 2008, a nice clean one.
Mm-hmm.
Low mileage, priced at under $12,000. A nice 7-passenger touring van.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking for vans are getting a little tough to find. New, they're quite expensive. Brought in a nice Dodge Dakota, SLT Club Cab 4-wheel drive pickup truck.
That's extended cab, like?
Yes, it's a club cab. It's a club cab.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, club cab. So it's got a little more room, little jump seat, 4-wheel drive, and that's priced at under $10,000. It's an 05. It's clean.
Hey, I'm going to tell you, that's a good price because these trucks are going out of sight if you go buy a new one.
Trucks are crazy, and Jeep Wranglers are in the universe. I mean, people come in and they're always amazed. Well, we just. When we go look for them, we have to pay all the dough for them, and the 06s and earlier are worth more proportionally than the newer ones.
Yeah, that's a square job.
Yeah, they're more. People desire the older style. Jeeps are always that way. The older ones always seem to just increase in value.
Yeah, my daughter bought one off you like that.
Yeah, those Jeeps there, those Jeeps are getting crazy. The prices on those Cherokees. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, one of my friends from the Vietnam veterans was up there and bought a car off of you.
Really?
Yeah.
No, it must have dealt with Andy.
With Andy, yeah. They bought it. They lived down near me here on Liberty Street.
Okay.
They were up there one time to meet you, but you was in the back and they didn't know anybody was around, if you can remember that.
Oh, yes. Yeah,
well, they went back again and they bought a... I thought it was off you. It could have been off Andy, but they bought one off of you.
Yeah. Well, I did meet those folks, if I recall correctly.
Right.
Very nice people. Very nice people.
Yep. So finally, they went back again, and they bought it.
Yeah, that not Bob, is it Bob? I'm going through my.
His name?
His first name Bob, right? No. Okay,
No.
that's not
Ray.
Ray.
Ray
Okay.
LaRue.
All right. Yes.
Yep. And his wife Marie. They went up there and bought a car for her, something small.
Yep. I remember that.
Okay, there you go. See,
Yep.
I've been pushing the word out here.
Good man. Well, it's a tough market out there. We try to deliver value and play by the rules and deliver integrity.
I know. I'm telling you. That's why I tell the people. Yes, I'm going to Route 6 because you're going to get ripped off.
Yeah, we're doing more too with a lot of foreign students at UMass Dartmouth.
Yeah, they probably need a small car to get around.
Yeah, and they come in on real strict, tight budgets.
Of course.
And, some of them really have been abused. They learn the American system real quick. These students from around the world, some really nice young people. I'm really impressed with the quality of these young people. Got a nice 07 Jeep Commander sport package. That's a 7-passenger Jeep. Nice Jeep. The Commanders are another tough Jeep to find.
Yeah, you don't see many of them around.
No, they're getting hard to find, in good shape with low mileage or decent mileage. This is priced at under $10,000, so this is an excellent buy for somebody out there who wants a 7-passenger Jeep, 6-cylinder, decent on gasoline. Got a
now, that's not the cast iron engine, is it? Like the old square jobs?
No.
No.
That engine went out. Good question. That engine, the last year for that engine was 2006 on the Jeep Wranglers.
Okay.
And 2001 on Cherokees, like your daughter's car.
Yeah, I think my daughter's Jeep, the one she bought, I think that was around 05, 06, something like that, I think.
01.
Oh, was it 01?
Yeah, 01 was the last year of that style.
Okay.
And then
Price, they change style so much I can't keep track sometimes.
Yeah, well, now they're getting all kind of these little light jobs, girly Jeeps. You know, they're getting much lighter.
Yeah, they're like a Jeep, you know?
Well, it's getting hotter. They're making you step up now, and the new codes and rules are really getting strict. Cars in America are changing radically.
How about that Chrysler, that kind of a tan or brown one? Not the one that was a showroom, but there was one on the outside, in that first row.
Not the tan. It was a what? Was it?
Golden brown. Yeah, it was a Chrysler Concorde, I think.
Oh, yes. Yes, you got a Chrysler Concorde.
Yeah.
Mileage is
very low.
Very low. It's about 78 or so in that ballpark.
And it was a good price.
Yeah, under less than $5,500.
Yeah.
And that's like it's a good size sedan. It's and good on gas. It's
about the size of my Caddy, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good size. It's not a huge sedan. But
I went and I looked at it, and I know it was low mileage.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering why it stayed there for that kind of money, you know?
Yeah, actually, I've been driving it around town, Billy.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm an old Chrysler guy, so.
Oh, yeah, you are.
Yeah. So, I mean, I've been driving it, testing it out, and, we'll make a punch list and get it ready. Brought in a couple of... we got a great Liberty in the showroom, a Jeep Liberty, in mint condition.
I seen that one in there.
Yeah, 07 Jeep Liberty.
Yep, I remember seeing that one there, yep.
Black. Mileage is in the 80s, low mileage. Clean. Those are solid Jeeps, rugged Jeeps. That's the last of that generation. Priced at under 11, that's a good value. An 04 Wrangler, which is very hard to get.
Well, you got a lot of Jeeps up there.
Yeah, we do. Well, it's our heritage, under
I know,
11.
but I mean, usually, you don't see that many Jeeps, but there must be half a dozen up there.
Yeah.
That you're having a lot.
Yeah, I got an 04 Jeep Wrangler, priced at under 11. That's a good buy. Let's see what else. Got a commercial van, like an 03 Dodge Ram van, maxi van, green.
Oh, that's a big one, huh?
It's not the long wheelbase.
It's not the extended
well,
one, no?
it's a good. Yeah, I guess it says maxi van, so it's the longer wheelbase. 2,500, Billy, 2,500. So it's a 3/4 ton.
Sharp money.
Yeah, it's priced. That's got 41,000 miles, priced at under 85.
Oh boy, some guy that wants some kind of business, that would be ideal.
Yeah, plumber, mason, electrician.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, somebody wants to cover up their tools. They don't want to be seen.
Yeah.
That just came in. The mileage alone speaks for the van.
Yeah, you're right.
So 41,000 miles. Got a real clean 05 Lincoln Town Car, Signature, Billy.
I seen it.
Yeah, it's all been detailed. Looks marvelous.
Yep, I seen that one.
Priced at under 8,000. That's a good buy. We're selling it for a lady in the city, and we've got it all detailed out. It was a little bit of work to make the car, detail it right out, make it look nice.
Yeah, at that time, you hadn't detailed it. It was just sitting there yet. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it had been off the road for a while, so but the car is intrinsically solid, and it's a good value for somebody who wants a nice ride, a Lincoln Signature Town Car.
Yeah.
And, it's got the nice ride and performance to buy.
What's that price under, Ralph?
Under 8.
Under 8?
Yep. And
Not
to
a bad
buy
price. You're not going to get big American cars like that anymore.
No, they're going away, and you got to spend.
You know what I mean?
You got to spend over $50,000 to get that ride in today's money.
You're right. Yeah.
So it's crazy the way things are heading. But we stay on our mission. Got a clean, relatively new 2012 Volkswagen GTI 2-door white, priced at under $17,000. That's a performance car. A lot of young people like those. They're very high performance. Got several Subarus. We do a lot with Subarus. Subarus represent good, solid value, all-wheel drives. And we have priced most of the Subarus. We have like an 09 Subaru Forester, priced at under $10,000. And I got another Forester, an 04 Forester, priced at under $8,500. These are all-wheel drives, of course.
Imagine what you sell them for with low mileage. Imagine if you went and buy that sucker at the showroom, what it would cost you.
Well, new, you're going to be in the 35-ish range,
That's
I'd say.
Saying. Imagine that.
Yeah, I would say easy. You're going to be in that ballpark,
You're going to get just as good a car once you send it out your door.
Yeah.
Because if something's wrong, you give them that warranty and guarantee for so many months, so you can't go wrong.
Yeah, if you're not trying to keep up with the Joneses.
You're right.
You're
looking for transportation.
Right.
Yeah.
If you're not trying to.
No Lexus, huh? Like I like.
No, we haven't.
Oh, that's the car I like the most, and just after that one left.
I know it.
Damn, that was a good car.
We see them, Billy, but some of them have some crazy miles. It's.
Oh yeah.
We buy miles or value if we see a car with higher mileage and it's been meticulously taken care of, and we have the records to prove it. We'll buy it, but generally we will pay for miles.
That's what people look at too.
Yeah, people look for it, and we'll pay for it. When you see cars with low mileage, we'll step up and buy them.
Yep.
And that's the difference.
But it's still cheaper than buying a brand new one.
Significantly so.
You know what I mean?
That's if you're not just into image, keeping up with the Joneses.
No.
You want 6 years of car payments and super high excise tax.
Yeah, but how about the big payment plus the sales tax and excise tax on a brand new vehicle?
Yeah, they really hit you the first several years.
Yeah, right, they do.
Yeah, they really hit you hard.
Well, Ralph, I'm going to let people talk, so let's go.
All right.
You ready for this?
Go ahead.
When was Pontiac's first V8
Oh, wow.
engine?
When was Pontiac's first V8 engine? Wow.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
It is, my man.
That's a good question. Oh, I would say this. Pontiac's first V8 was probably in the 50s.
No.
No? First
No.
V8 Pontiac?
Yes.
They had all the straight 8s, didn't they? And
This is going to shock you when I tell you no.
Pontiac and Buick had a lot of straight 8s, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
Yeah. And I thought Pontiac ran the straight 8s until like 52, 51, 52, and then he went into V8s.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, a V8 engine. When's that first V8?
The V8 I thought was like 54 or so, 52, 4, and I bought 53.
That was, yeah, but before that, they had a V8 before 55.
They did?
Yes, they did.
What, back in the 30s?
Yes, they did.
Oh, they must have borrowed it from Cadillac or something because, see, I'm not aware of that.
No.
I know they made those big iron horses, the straight 8s.
You're right. This one shocked me.
Yeah.
1932 Pontiac, V8 powered.
Wow.
Coupe. Only year. After that, they went back to the flatheads, straight 8s or straight 6s. But this is a V8. V8 flathead.
Wow. So
yeah.
1 year?
1 year.
So where did they get the engine from? Like Caddy?
No, Pontiac engine.
And they built it for 1 year.
Well, 1 year, 1932. It says grade 8 Pontiac rare exclusive V8 powered 1932 8 sports coupe.
Wow. A sports coupe, no less. I mean, that thing would be worth a little bit of dough, eh?
I'm telling you, and also this has a rumble seat, but it also has a door on the passenger side where you open up and you put your golf clubs in.
No kidding.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a Playboy's car there.
Well, look it up on your computer. You're going to see it.
Yeah.
Nice looking buggy. It had the wire artillery wheels.
1932. Yeah, right at the height of the Depression.
That's right.
Yeah, so the Depression really taken hold.
Yes.
Who's going to go out and buy a two-door coupe? Well, at least the rank and file weren't, that's for sure. When they were getting thrown out of work.
Yep.
Yeah, no, that's a tough one.
Unbelievable, huh?
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, I'm telling you, beautiful,
Yeah.
nice looking car.
Oh, let's see, Matt's got it
But
there.
it shocked me because I've always under the impression that Pontiac was always straight 8 or
Yeah.
6s,
Well, yeah,
and
you
come
thought-
out with a V8 in 1955.
Well, Matt's got one here, but it's got a hot tri-power in it. Matt, that's a retro engine, I can tell you that.
I know that's not the one.
Yeah,
man.
no, that's not. He just queued one up in it. Is that engine? That a Pontiac engine there? It looks like a big. Wait, no, that's an overhead valve. That's a '50s engine.
Overhead valves was Buick and Chevy used that back in the 30s.
Yeah, he's got a Pontiac here. Looks like a '55 Pontiac overhead valve job.
Yep, you're right.
Yeah,
But this is a flathead.
yeah, that's. Gee, 1 year, huh? Wow.
Yeah, 1 year, Ralph. I was very shocked because I was always in the impression Pontiac and Chevy 1955 come out with their V8s.
That engine, you had your.
But it's a V. I was shocked. Only 1 year.
No, the green with the green head flathead. You got it. Yeah, right there.
You got it?
He's got a. No, that's a 3240. He's got the flathead V8.
Yeah.
Now that he enlarged the picture.
And the funniest part of this is your exhaust on the engine, instead of being down below, it's up top of the engine.
You mean the exhaust manifolds?
Yeah,
rose,
manifolds, yeah.
They rose up?
They're up over the top of the flathead.
Huh.
And you can see the spark plugs in there, but instead of being underneath, usually they're underneath the engine.
Right.
This is above the engine. Weird.
Huh. So what they do? Run the header pipe up high to come to it?
Yeah, up high.
So they ran the header pipe up high to meet the manifold.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
different. Yeah.
And this was a downdraft carburetor, which gave it a little more zip. That was much more powerful than the Ford V8s back then.
Oh, I think he's got one here. He's got it. The Model 302.
You got it?
Yeah, the Model 302 Pontiac. Well, it's a 32 Pontiac. This one says V8.
Yeah, 32 Pontiac.
Yeah, Matt, enlarge that picture of the engine. I see the intake plenum and the exhaust.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, very different design. Yeah, you're right.
Very different, isn't it, huh? It's not like the regular flathead the Caddy and LaSalle was using.
Good-looking coupe, though, huh?
Isn't it, huh?
Yeah, it's a beautiful car.
All right.
And that air cleaner around the engine, around the downdraft, is very
You
different
see
too.
it, downdraft carburetor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they ran I guess the valves, the exhaust. See, that's a strange design, Billy, because.
Isn't it? Yes,
yeah,
it is, Ralph.
Yeah, because what they've done, folks, is this, for those of you, because you can't see the picture, is the exhaust manifold sits on top of the head, essentially, inside well, it's almost like the valley pan between.
Yeah, the valley pan, yep.
Of the intake. Usually the intake manifold there, that's where the engine breathes the air in. In this case, though, they have the exhaust valves exhaling at the top of the engine instead of the bottom of the engine.
Yeah.
The bottom, right? The bottom of the head. Or the lower side of the engine.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the first I've seen like that, Bill.
Oh, there you go, right?
Yeah, that's a...
I learned something. I always think Pontiac was 55, but I'm wrong.
Do you know, looking at that design, to me it would be almost like a recipe for vapor lock every summer day. You know, for you guys out there who know about cars and carburetors and been around a little bit, seeing the exhaust manifold so close to the carburetor like this, it looks like in the summertime, you'd probably have vapor lock. And of course, in the winter, you'd have an engine that heats up a little quicker. So you'd have in the summer, you pay.
Well, Ralph, maybe they designed this 1 year and found out they might have had problems. They went back to the old straight 8 or straight 6.
Yeah, makes it a little tough for a technician to put his hands around there. But
yeah,
yeah, without
Hey, let me ask you another one. Metro. Who made Metro trucks?
Metro trucks.
Yeah.
Metro. Gee,
Metro.
You're making me.
M-E-T.
Yeah, you're making me.
R-O, Metro.
You're making me dig deep here. Metro. That was.
They were made from 1939 to 1964. And if we remember right, the fire department used to have one down on Purchase Street, a red one, for years.
And who made them? The Metro Corporation.
Yeah, who made them?
The Metro Corporation.
No. You're trying to screw me up. No.
I feel like I'm in school. I don't know. I can't recall.
In International.
Oh, International made it. It was a separate label.
And they labeled this special truck Metro.
Huh.
It was like a big van with a door open up in the back, all the way up to the top. It was a high van, and the door, you could lock them in inch position, whatever you want, halfway, quarter way. And it was good for delivery for, like bakeries, and they had double walls.
Was it
you put insulation in between.
Was it a aluminum body?
No, it was a steel body.
It was a steel body.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, all right. It was
see
like
one and pick one up. You see.
It's almost like a Divco.
Yep. Almost.
Kind of like a Divco.
Yep.
Only not as stout, maybe.
But anyway, that's was delivery, like maybe laundries and stuff like that. That's what these were used for.
Matt should drive around in one of those.
International engine.
Matt likes it.
Overhead valves.
Yeah, the potato chip trucks used to deliver those. Like,
exactly, that's right. You're right.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking of that now. You're right.
Yeah. That's like a 50s. I guess they were popular to the 50s. After that, they didn't seem to stick around too much.
No, they didn't. No.
Yeah.
But this is most like in the 30s and 40s. This particular model here.
Yeah. That's a pretty cool looking truck.
Isn't it? Huh?
Yeah. Matt would like one of those.
Yeah.
Huh, Matt? Painted psychedelic colors. You can play some.
Yeah, it's all two-tone.
Yeah, rock and roll music.
I can play some Jesus Christ Superstar in it.
Yeah, play some Jesus
It had
Christ.
white wall tires.
Yeah, it's a pretty wild rig.
All right, Ralph. It was an interesting day with you.
All right, Matt. Thank you, Billy. Get in touch and we'll get that part installed on your cat.
All right, just remember we're having Vietnam Recreation Day next 26th of March down at the Kennedy Building at Fort Rodman, 1 to 4.
Yeah. All right.
And then we head to the vocational high school. Up in the north end for spaghetti.
Okay.
All right. I'll catch you next week, Ralphie.
Yep. Okay. Thanks.
Have a good day.
Yep. Bye. Give us a call, folks. Here 9960500. We can talk about whatever's on your mind. I got some old 30 speeches here. Everything's getting. Everybody's getting hyped up with these elections, and the more things change, the more they say the same. And I just like going back into the time, and thank God, in relatively modern times, we have recordings and films now, and they've gotten better. What amazes me, though, is sometimes when I do research, and I hang around in the 30s and the 20s, the turn of the century, a lot of readings and writings, and at the time recordings were starting to really take hold with the advent of radio, and also talkie movies, which started to really come on, really start to grow legs, if you will, in the late 20s, like 29, 30, late 20s and early 30s. Talkie movies started to come in more and more, and some of the recordings are quite good. When I listen to some tapes from the 60s sometimes, in retrospect, considering how much time has passed, the 60s really, some of the recordings don't sound as well, like some of the Kennedy speeches and things. Sound like they're from the 20s or the 30s. And I listen to some 30s recordings, and they're much cleaner and crisper. I just sometimes can't figure that out, why that's the case, because things had improved remarkably from from the 30s to the early 60s for sure, because technology had obviously progressed. And still was the vacuum tube era in the early 60s, albeit transistors were invented and were just started to take hold, but mostly on the most expensive equipment, military equipment, and very high-end radios. The Japanese were the ones who, in the mid-ish 60s, started to bring in those little transistor radios, which were relatively expensive for the time because of the technology. Because a dollar then was worth a heck of a lot more than it is today. But I pulled up one of these speeches, and we're going to just play here, just to go back in time here. This is Father Coughlin speaks against the Federal Reserve. And it's interesting to hear these speeches at the time because you have to put it in perspective. A lot of the folks back then, you were very fortunate to have a high school education, a high school diploma. A lot of them didn't finish high school because they had to go to work. And life was a lot tougher. And you hear the level of conversation, and I marvel at that today when I hear some of these speeches from the past and how they talk to the constituents, and today's speeches, which are geared for a much lower level of intellect. But I would just go back in time a little bit for a couple minutes and play this little snapshot here of time.
There is written in the Constitution of the United States that Congress has the right to coin, issue, and regulate the value of money. That's good Americanism, and it's good enough for me. Every politician today in the Democratic or Republican ranks who sits upon one of the thrones of the mighty doesn't believe in that part of the Constitution. They don't want to believe in that part of the Constitution. They believe that the Federal Reserve Bank has the right to coin and regulate the value of money. They're not even Americans, these so-called Democrats and Republicans. And so Mr. Roosevelt, who was very loquacious in 1933 about driving the money changers out of the temple, is now bent upon another policy. I think driving the workmen out of decent annual wages. As I come before you today, I wish to leave this thought with you, that in each congressional district here in Illinois, we will endorse a candidate who can rise above his party and puts patriotism first. He may be a Democrat or a Republican or whatnot, but we're through with the sham battle of politicians, and now we're on our own. Therefore, under your congressional district presidents, form your battalions, take up the shield of your defense, unsheathe the sword of your truth, and carry on in Illinois so that the communists on the one hand cannot scourge us, and that the modern capitalists on the other cannot plague us.
There you have it. Quite a fire speech for the time. Father Coughlin was quite a speaker at the time. Created a lot of issues with the Roosevelt administration. Today you don't really hear priests come out too much in the political scene and speak out like that in today's world. But there's always a cycle to life, and it's interesting how he talks about the Federal Reserve. Most folks today don't even understand what the Federal Reserve does. Of course, at the time it pretty much had come into effect right around 1913-15 in that era, when they met the bankers down in Jekyll Island and set up this system, which has basically absconded with a lot of our wealth now through this inflation that we experience. But that's a conversation maybe for another time. But it's interesting to hear these speeches of the past, and these people are far from being stupid, and the public knew quite a bit. But the system is almost on cruise control. Actually, at the time, Roosevelt had outlawed the ownership of gold. People were told to turn in their gold, and you got paid for it. They did pay you $20 an ounce. But the following year, they came out and reset the price of gold at $35 an ounce. So, dollars took a significant depreciation right then and there. Some of the smart people understood what was going on, like Joseph Kennedy certainly did, and he was able to profit. And some other minds of the time who knew the game and how people get cheated out of their wealth. Kind of like what's going on now. If you have any savings in the bank, they're not paying you virtually no interest. But your money is certainly not increasing in value. So they're basically stealing your wealth. So it's not a new game. It's continuing to go on. But you can give us a call here, 9960500, 9960500. We can talk about whatever's on your mind. I did talk to Billy about a few of the cars we have, but we have quite a diversified selection. We have both foreign and domestic. I got a great little Volkswagen Jetta. It's a 2000 Jetta, 2-liter gas engine. It's a standard shift. It's priced at under $4,000. So if you're looking for if you can drive a standard, actually I'm amazed. A lot of women today, the women actually, there's parity between the sexes. At least the younger under 40 crowd, there's parity, who drive standard. Girls or gals are at parity with men And I'm really, it's just the cultural changes. I guess it's metrosexual men don't have an interest on driving or learning how to drive a standard shift. And I met a young lady who's came in and she drove it, and she says, "Well, my dad taught me, he wanted me to be aware of how to drive a car, different cars, so I could get in it and drive it in an emergency. And so he taught me how to drive standard." And she was proud of that fact. And but you don't have many young people come in and whose parents take the time to teach them, unfortunately, if the parents know themselves. But this little Jetta, priced at $39.99, is an excellent value for a 2000. If you like the newest style Jeep, the new model started in 2011. We have several of those. One we have is a Grand Cherokee Laredo Silver, priced at $16,999. That's an excellent value. Certainly beats paying 2-3 times more than that for it'll cost you more than twice as much for a new one, but you pay 2 to 3 times more for a new one, so that represents good value. Got an 03 Ranger pickup truck, Super Cab, red, priced at under $9,000 if you're looking for a truck clean. I did mention the Liberty before. We got a Silverado 1500 work truck, like a little work truck, extra cab, short bed, 2-wheel drive, super little truck to get around town with. And I like 2-wheel drive trucks. The winter time you can always throw a few bags of sand in the back wheels and put a decent set of tires on. You're going to truck through most everything. Plus the amount of the ride's better and you burn a lot less fuel. So if unless you're plowing or going north a lot, sometimes you have to question if you really need a 4x4. The extra expense. This truck here is an 04. It has about 75,000 miles and is priced at under $9,500. A real excellent value in today's market. And what makes us quite different than from a lot of other facilities is we do go through these cars. We put a lot of money in them. We put a lot of dough getting these cars ready for sale before we take your money. A lot of places, and I mean this, and you have to shop around to find this out for yourself, is a lot of places put the least possible amount in their cars to get them out the door. I just met a lady this past week who came in and she was in for some warranty work through GWC. That another dealer had sold her a car. This is an underwriting firm, insurance company for auto repairs, and we do a lot of GWC work. And we were talking. She said, "Well, why you get the car and why don't you do an oil change?" I said, "Ma'am, how long have you had the car?" She says, 3 weeks. I said, "Well, you put a lot of miles on." She says, "Well, no, they never changed the oil." And it blows me away that and she paid all the money, they don't even do an oil change on a car. It's just the way it is, and you have to pay attention when you go out there. A lot of people learn this the hard way. I guess the old saying, experience is what you get when you didn't get what you wanted. And a lot of people get experience, especially buying automobiles. And it's always pays to go online if you have access to online to read the reviews of the organization you're going to do business with. And that's not just for car dealerships. It could be for any service, dentists, doctors, lawyers, what have you. It pays to kind of see and read the reviews. I mean, some people have attitudes, and they're gonna throw stones at you even if you did everything right by the book. And you have to kind of, when you read the reviews, you have to look at the majority. I mean, if the majority of people are against that organization, then something must be going on over there. If you got more than 3 or 4 reviews, of course, the bigger the base gives you a better indicator of what's going on when you look at these numbers. But it's really important you do your homework, and we've been at it for a long time. And we stay to our mission. We stay priced in the $4,000 to $15,000 range. We do have, and trucks we go up to $20,000 for stock. And we do bring in cars costing considerably more for people who want them. And we do that. We just come in and consult with us. We'll find the car you're looking for. It could be Cadillac, BMW, doesn't matter what it is. And we'll find a model. Some cars are a little more available than others. We can get the right clock and mileage price point you want. It's a fulcrum point between miles and price. If you're trying to get into a model that's a little pricey, sometimes we can find a clean one with a little bit more miles and put you in it. There's compromises made, and you just have to be aware of that. And, we'll work with you on that. Come in and see Andrew, my brother David, or myself, and we can consult with you. And with springtime here right now coming up strong, now's the time to think about these things and start early if you plan on doing something for May or June. It's never too early to prepare, and we start to make a relationship and find a car. And conversely, if you've inherited a car you know, or you can't drive a car, someone in the family can't drive for health reasons, or someone passed away, we can help sell that car for you and save you a lot of grief and aggravation on selling it on your own, and dealing with all the riffraff that shows up at your house or calls you all day, night, hours, and want to come by and nose around your house. A lot of bad things have happened over the years. You have to, if you go in, you can stay up all night reading the blogs about it, about you know, people getting dealing with some of these unsavory people come in and come back and steal stuff, or it's just all kinds of issues, like from A to Z. I can't begin to tell you all the stories. They're sometimes even hit the mainstream news, but we can act as your firewall and get you good money for your car if it's a decent car. And make sure all the laws and the paperwork are done properly. So you should look into us for that. We can help you with that, and we can talk about if you have any questions on it, give me a call in the second hour. This hour is almost coming to an end. Oh, here we go. It's coming to an end. So stay with us. We'll catch you on the other side of the news. And you're listening to Ralph Medeiros, all about cars, from Ralph's Auto Center. Thank you for listening. Okay, welcome back, folks, to All About Cars. My name is Ralph Medeiros. I own and operate Ralph's Auto Center with my son Andrew on Church Street, 867 Church Street in the north end of New Bedford. We're just off of Exit 5. You come from the highway, you know, whether you're out of town or if you're south end of town, or even a little further north than where I'm at. Just get on 140, take Exit 5, put you on Church Street, head down Church Street. We're on the right-hand side, just about a half mile down from the highway. So very easy to get to it. If you're driving up through the cities, Church Street is a pretty long street, and you can just get on to Church Street and follow us right leads right to us. So if you know what you know, if you know your directions from north from south, that is, you can find us very easily. You can ring us up here at 996-0500, 996-0500. If you have a car problem, something bugging you, you can give us a call. We can talk about it, and any other issues. We are running some spring specials for service. You can call Ulysses, and he can help you out. Ulysses Santiago is my service manager, and he's been with me for, well, he's been with me since 1988. So he's been a long-term employee, very, very knowledgeable, very loyal, dedicated, knows his job. And if you have a car problem, you can ring him up, and he can get you into the service department. We can help you out. We do a lot of restorative maintenance, meaning we only do what's necessary, keep you patched up at the minimum amount of cost. But sometimes some folks very often let their cars go so long with a problem and compounds, and it can be expensive if you let things go to hell in a handbasket. Okay, there's a price to be paid. Same can be said for society when you let things get out of line. And to bring things back into order costs a lot and is painful, expensive, be it for your car or in society. So it's everything has a cost. So one thing the universe teaches you is to stay in shape and stay up to date. Okay, it's just the way it is. You have to justify, which is on you and I as our personal existence, we almost have to justify our existence by keeping our mind sharp and staying in good health. Otherwise, you have an early demise very often. Sometimes there's events happen in life that are no fault of your own, for sure. It's just the way the cards are dealt. But very often you have a say in the matter as well. Give us a call, 996-0500. There was an interesting, Matt, I think you have just queued up, I don't know, a little clip here I'll play about how I think we could really improve our school system. There was a young fella here who's 21 years old who's learning all about authority and paying attention and the consequences of doing things that are not considered acceptable in their society. Here we go.
Please, I've made the worst mistake of my life, but please, have to save me. Think of my family.
That's Otto Warmbier in his tearful confession last month. The Wyoming high school graduate and University of Virginia student says he tried, he admitted in this, presumably prompted by the North Korean officials, that he tried to steal a propaganda banner from a restricted area of the hotel in which he was staying. He was convicted and sentenced in a trial that lasted 1 hour.
North Korea, for your forgiveness. Please, I have made the worst mistake of my life.
Total election cost was collected from this church.
There you go. So maybe we need some of those. Maybe it'd be a good idea if we took our most troublesome students and gave them a summer break, sent them to North Korea for some discipline and some re-education. I think would make a huge effect. You see these kids come back totally changed. Maybe that's an extreme case, but I guess sometimes we're the extreme opposite when you think about it of what's happening in this country, and not just in New Bedford, it's throughout the country. Sometimes some very difficult measures. That's a society where you step out of line, consequences are severe. Okay, I mean it's a fanatical communist state, totalitarian state, and they don't fool around. That fella for stealing one of Kim Jong-un's posters, political posters, that he wanted to take back for souvenirs, is going to potentially possibly cost him 15 years of hard labor. And believe me, their hard labor there is much different than... I don't think we have hard labor anymore in this country, okay? As far as the prisons go. Over there, it's a different ballgame. Truly is. Now, here's a young fella, 21 years old. It really... It defies logic sometimes when I see these kids. I mean, 21 years old, he's in college, and he supposedly comes from good parents who brought him up properly, and very possibly they did. But to go to a foreign country and to get into the country, and they put you through a routine, they inspect all your luggage coming in, make sure you're not bringing any contraband and items that they don't want you bringing, like Bibles and things like that, because they'll arrest you right on the spot. And he goes to the country, and he goes into a restricted part of the hotel that's made for just the employees of that hotel. And if he's that naive, he doesn't think there's cameras everywhere. And he steals a poster to take with him. And they inspect your luggage, by the way, on the way out of North Korea as well. I mean, the naivety of these children. He's not a child; he's a young man. Our parents and grandparents were in the beaches of Normandy at 18, 19 years old, dying and fighting. And you see a kid 21 years old comes from supposedly a privileged background to some degree. He's not just his father owns a small factory or company, and he had the opportunity to get a good education, go to college, and he does something like this, and now he realizes the consequences of his acts in the People's Republic of North Korea, and the consequences of this now. I just think we are not bringing our kids up in the proper scope of what's going on out there in the world, and it's just you see this, and it's very sad to see how we're declining here in our country. Okay. It's really sad, and it seems like the whole society is inept at doing anything about it, because we can't do that. There's a law against that. We can't do this. We've passed this law. It's like we've painted ourselves in a corner, and we can't get out of the corner now. It almost defies logic. So, my advice: enjoy the decline. Okay, that's all you can do, because it's you just see people seem to be frozen from just acting and doing things. And if you go out to do it, you're being prejudicial, racial, or whatever. There's always some reason. Your hair's too long or too short. I mean, there's everyone's got an agenda now and a reason to battle you. Very good afternoon to you, caller. Hey, are you there? Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Jay.
I saw that guy on TV.
Yeah.
And 15 years of hard labor in North Korea doesn't mean playing ping pong.
Absolutely not.
It means probably making little rocks out of a big rock. And the other news is, if you don't work, you don't eat.
Well, he's lucky he's a Westerner, because you'll probably hit their hard labor it's by our standards it's extremely hard labor, but by their standards he's going to be in a little better situation as far as a prison goes.
I used to know someone who was stationed in the country of Turkey. You don't even have to go to North Korea. Years ago. And American sailors, for some reason, 4 of them, they got drunk one night. They stumbled out of the bar. They took down a Turkish flag from a flagpole, and they walked on it. 5 years of hard labor apiece. And Turkey was our ally, and they didn't care whether they were sailors or not. And part of his job was to go to the jail every day to bring them food.
Huh.
If they didn't get food from the American consulate, they didn't eat.
Well, I mean, that's realities.
Yeah, that is reality.
But, maybe Dennis Rodman will show up and play basketball with Kim Jong-un.
Yeah, sure,
the
with
second.
Kim Jong-un.
Yeah,
sure.
Bring him some porno movies and other movies.
I think Dennis Rodman is through with his trips to North Korea.
Why? It's the workers' paradise.
I think he finally woke up to the fact that he was being used.
You mean you're considering him to be a useful idiot?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's incredible how naive some of these people are. Look at the guy remember the guy in, what was it, Singapore, who was vandalizing cars?
Yeah, him and his friend, we were aghast. Americans were so upset they were going to cane him.
Yeah, good.
Going to cane him.
They did cane him.
Yeah, so we were so upset here in America.
Yeah, oh, really? And they showed caning on television. Both hands and the cane, which is of bamboo,
yep,
which was fire-hardened, they swing it like a baseball bat with both hands.
Well, they just want to make an impression. They don't want to see you back.
Oh, yeah, because right after that, they threw him out of the country.
Yeah, well, I mean, but they're letting you know if you come back, it's going to be twice as hard.
Right.
Yeah. Well,
but,
it's degrees of society. I mean, Jay, it's okay. I mean, we're blessed in this country still with some freedoms. Our freedoms have been markedly reduced financially and personal freedoms. And anyone, and you're old enough to see that, and I'm certainly old enough to see it. Younger people don't realize how much of our liberties we've lost already. But to be free, you have to be responsible. Irresponsible, people, they lose their freedoms. And in this country, we're all being compromised, our individual freedoms, because of some of the people in our society who are disruptive. Now, we already have the largest prison population in the world as a percentage of our society. So, we have some severe problems in our society we just don't seem to be addressing or addressing.
I don't think
not
there's
properly.
the will. I don't think there's the will to address them, and I think as time goes on, there is less and less will, so it's just going to get worse and worse.
So, enjoy the decline.
Luckily, I may not be around for much of it.
Well, you've seen a lot of it already.
I know.
So, stay positive.
Hey.
Stay positive. I mean, it's the mindset of people, and then you and I individually will do you do the best you can, but there's so many people out there who are just blinded to this, and
I was watching something on the Weather Channel the other day, believe it or not. It wasn't weather, it was the entertainment they provide you with. It's a stupid program called So You Think You Would Survive. And they put, what it is they show you film clips of bad situations, and then they ask you questions. How would you handle this? So they showed these guys in cars and trucks on a beach, and they're all sinking in the sand. And the faster they gun the engine, the faster they sank.
Yep.
So the question was, what would you do? Throw the car in reverse, do this? There are 3 choices, and the last choice was use car mats under the tires to gain some traction and move out slowly, So I said to my wife, put the car mats under the tires for traction. Well, they were asking these people on the beach what to do. None of them knew what to do.
Call AAA.
Yeah, call AAA and wait 2 hours, and then the tide comes in. And be aware of the fact
I've seen that happen. I've seen that happen. The tide comes in.
Be aware of the fact that once the salt water gets to your engine, it's all over.
Yeah, I've seen that.
You know, it's amazing how really, I don't know if it's dumb or naive or both.
It's dumb.
Yeah, it could be. It's dumb.
See,
You're
usually,
right.
if you, the evolution of species, usually the dumb ones die, get killed, get eaten. In our society, we seem to subsidize the dumb ones so they continue to go on.
No, in our society, the dumb ones not only live but prosper, and the rest of us pay for them.
Yeah.
Great. What a great system.
Well, we've gotten a system we deserve.
Basically, yeah.
We've gotten a system we deserve, and here we are. And it doesn't look like it's going to change much.
And have you heard the latest wrinkle in the Massachusetts legislature? This is great. Do you know that they're holding meetings probably at 1 o'clock in the morning when nobody's there?
Yeah, probably.
But by 2018, they're going to attempt to implement a graduated income tax.
2017, correct?
2017, yeah.
Right. What they're doing is it's almost like a red herring. They want to implement a graduated income tax for people making more than $1 million.
Yeah, sure.
So, yeah, let's screw the rich people. But my question is, okay, they want a progressive income tax on people making more than $1 million, and I certainly don't make anywhere near $1 million. But my question is, how many people in Massachusetts are making $1 million? 100, 500, 1,000?
Even if they are.
No, I'm just saying, what's the percentages here? And to me,
don't know.
No, but I'm sure it's obviously a rather small percentage of the populace, right? You know what I'm saying? What is it, 1/10 of 1% maybe?
Right.
I'm guessing here as a number, but I hope it's a reasonable guess. But the question being, right now in 2017 it'll be 1 million. Then in 2020 they'll introduce to bring it down to maybe 400,000. 400,000, then it'll be down to 200,000, and down to 100,000, then it'll be down to 50,000, and they'll be screwing you and me and the working
you know, the amazing thing is that now that this has gotten out, where do you think those people making over $1 million are going to be by the time the tax is implemented? They're going to be living in Florida, no taxes.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you know, it's but it's really it's the camel's nose under the tent, and I think the $1 million, the numbers are small, but it'll be kind of, if you have to think, you have to look at history to see the future, and the way I look at it is when they came out with the income tax in the 100 years ago, actually. Right? And they brought in the Federal Reserve and the federal income tax, and the federal income tax came out to tax the rich, the J.P. Morgans and the Vanderbilts and the Carnegies, these industrialists, they're millionaires, they pay squat for taxes, let's tax them. And it came out, the tax, when it first came out, was for the very wealthy. Well, now, where is the federal income tax? They tax everybody, right? Unless you got really low income.
Right.
But you know what I'm saying? So if you're 20 grand and up, you're certainly on the radar. Okay, so now the federal tax is a significant bite for people, but most people today. So this tax now has gone right down to the middle class and the lower middle class, unless some people have such low incomes they get money back, and a lot of them want a low income so they can get the money back, and they don't want to lose their benefits. So these are the problems. I've heard that in Seattle there's been issues now with the $15 pay hour rate, that some people have been losing benefits, and they've asked their bosses to cut back their hours. They don't they don't want to lose their benefits, so they want their hours reduced. So that's the system, you know.
The city fathers of San Diego were the first ones to try this. They raised they called it a living wage, $15 an hour. Well, 6 months later, there was an alarming statistic. The unemployment rate between people of 25 and 35 had gone up like 18%. Well, what did you expect?
Yeah. Well, these are the unintended consequences, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So there's always, it's just enjoy the decline, my friend.
Well,
I said,
hey.
okay.
Well, after we have this super blizzard on Monday, we're either going to have, depending on who you listen to, a snow flurry or 5 to 8 inches.
Well, whatever it is, it is. It comes.
Whatever it is, it is.
Right, right.
What I finally figured out after several years is the more computers they have, the fewer accurate forecasts they can give you.
Well, I mean, we do have satellites, and
yeah.
Speaking of which, I got to talk about.
And then we have the European model, the South American model, the Western model, the Eastern model, and all they do is draw lines all over the weather map, and you go, well, here's your snowstorm.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be honest, though, these satellites have been a marvelous invention. They really have given us much better accuracy on our weather, because they're 25,000 miles above the Earth, looking down at us, and they can see all the cloud and formations, and
right.
The technology is radically improved. Speaking of which, there was an asteroid that just passed just outside our weather satellites, which are mounted, I think, 23,000 miles above the Earth, and this asteroid passed around 27,000 miles outside the Earth's orbit. So it's extremely close. It's like and it's twice the size of the one that crashed in Russia several years ago and broke windows and put all kinds.
It's only a matter of time.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure it's all figured out. I gotta let you go.
Have a good one.
Thank you. Okay, we got a caller here. Oh, hi, caller. No, nobody's there. Okay, call back. I don't know what happened to you. Some statistics today. Sunrise, 6:48. We gained 12 minutes from last Saturday. Okay, so we're gaining more in the morning. Of course, it's a little darker in the morning since the clocks went ahead, so they figured this out mathematically. And in the evening, we've gained 7 minutes. The sun sets at 6:55. 6:55. By next Saturday, we should be after 7 o'clock. So we're definitely progressing here right along. And, of course, we're going to have our equinox as well. So we've gained 19 minutes of daylight from last Saturday. And so far, we're almost at the halfway point. We've gained 2 hours and 58 minutes. So almost, well, we're halfway there, starting spring, which spring arrives for us here on the East Coast Sunday, tomorrow, at 4:30 UTC time, okay? 4:30, so 04 hours UTC or GMT, which means Universal Time Coordinated or Greenwich Meridian Time. I prefer Greenwich. Greenwich is the original start of all times when the English figured it out. Some of the more modern vernacular today is UTC time, Universal Time, and it'll be on our time, okay, which is Eastern Daylight Time. We'll be here at 12:30 tomorrow morning. So 12:30, early morning. Spring arrives here. Okay, 0:30 hours. Okay, it's the earliest spring since 1896. Okay, this is the earliest spring since 1896. One reason it's earlier is leap year, and because of the tropical years, as a measure between the successive March equinoxes, okay, has also increased. It doesn't have an even number, okay, without getting overly technical, but using measuring the time between the spring equinoxes, it's 365.241 days. So you can see why traditionally we always told, well, spring begins on March 21st. Well, that's no longer true now, okay? It comes actually earlier because of these changes in the mathematics here. Okay, so there you have it. Our calendar is based on 365 days or 366 days like it is this year because of leap year. Okay. Very good afternoon to you, caller. Hello, are you there? Hello? I'm going to let you go if you don't come to the phone. Okay, so there you have it. Jupiter shines tonight. It's actually Jupiter, whereas it's on the opposite side of us and the sun, so it's very bright in the sky. A lot of planets out there. It's the best time of the year to watch it is right now in March, or to see it, I should say, is right now. Also Venus, Mars, Saturn, is in the pre-dawn sky. So a lot of things, the skies have been beautiful if you had time, and also if it's clear out, like last night was, at least earlier in the evening, and earlier in the morning it wasn't, but the skies have been absolutely gorgeous. So sometimes you have to look up to the heavens to forget about all the things that are happening around us, and it gives you a little bit of solace and comfort. And that's how I look at it. Okay, on we go here. By the way, I do have a great selection of radios for those of you who are living in an electronic ghetto and you can only get 1 or 2 stations. You should consider upgrading your radio. These radios start at $60 and up. Tabletops at $75. The top of the line radio is like about $150. These radios are all discounted below what you're going to buy them for on the internet for new radios. You can buy refurbished ones, but these are new in the box, and they all come with a 1-year warranty. And you just mail them back, and they send you another one. And they're very good on their service. So if you're not getting good reception, sometimes some people have problems. I can consult with you, electrical problems. AM radio can be difficult because of it's a much lower frequency. It's subject to a lot of electromagnetic noises. Okay, the old timers understood this because they had to play with these sets to make them work. And we can help you with these problems. A very good afternoon to you, caller. Hi, are you there?
Hello?
Hey.
Hi, Ralph?
Yes, sir.
Hey, have you heard about what happened to the Bernie Sanders sign? Some guy stole half of a Bernie Sanders sign.
He did.
And he left a note. He said, I'm taking half your sign because you have one and I don't. And on the bottom it says, I know you'll understand.
That's cute.
Socialism.
Yeah, that's cute. Taking half
You
the
like
sign.
that?
Yeah, that's different. Yeah, that's different. Yeah, and it makes the
All right.
point.
Have a good day.
Thanks. Okay. Got a sense of humor. Very good afternoon to you, caller.
Hey, good afternoon. Someone sent me an email yesterday, and it was little-known facts about automobiles. And I would love to forward it to you, but I don't know your email.
Send it to Ralph@ralphscars.com.
I'm going to write that down, Ralph@ralphscars.com. Got it. You'll be getting it from Big C 109, okay?
Okay.
Thank you, Ralph.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. There you have it. Okay. Play a little tune here. Me gusta. You going to cue that up? A little different music. If you're offended, turn it off. Here we go. I don't hear it, Matt. Okay, we got technical difficulties. Here we go. This is for Obama's trip to Cuba. Matt, are we having technical difficulties? Yeah. Okay, you want to back that up? Okay. Yeah, we got little technical issues here. President Obama is in Cuba, and so is a couple of our boys from our delegation here, congressional delegation at the federal level. I was with him, Jim McGovern. Jim McGovern's been going to Cuba now for at least 25 years. He's a good comrade. He no longer represents this district, though. Here we go. Hi, caller.
Yes, hello.
Hi, how are you?
Can I speak my thing?
Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, I just wondered how you doing this morning? I'm a little out of breath after my jog. Maybe because of my jog, I'm thinking a little bit askew here. No. But I was just wondering, in this election cycle, in this time, It just seems like it's so corrupt. Let me turn my radio. I didn't expect to get this. It just seems like it's so corrupt. Both sides, honestly, my goodness, honestly, with the super delegates and things being controlled by powers that voters have no say in.
Well, you're right.
On both sides.
Yeah, but
so corrupt.
Well,
can I just finish?
Go ahead.
Get to my point.
Go ahead.
I wasn't a bad student in public school and in history courses. I wasn't great, but I wasn't that bad. I would have all my life have thought that the U.S. could never, that people would be wise enough to preclude, to not vote for some real crazy, evil person. I've always thought that. Up until now, it enters my reign of thinking now, with more reasonable people so turned off by all the corruption in the primary process. It's possible. It seems like it might be possible. And I just want to say that I hope the Constitution, beyond that, if some real awful guy got in, I would hope that the Constitution, our unique Constitution, has all of those, enough of those checks and balances, which people that run those branches would prevent anything serious from happening.
So
it's a problem with these idiots now on both sides. Don't you think so?
Well, first of all, we're seeing these elections and primaries. It's not an election; it's a selection. It's a selection of the parties for their candidate.
That's right.
Okay, so I think we have to be clear on that.
It isn't us that are making the selection.
Right. I don't think. That's correct. No, you think correctly.
Yeah.
It's not an election. It's a selection. The party selection.
Right.
And this is what's created such an uproar with Donald Trump. Mind Trump.
I don't know in which way
I'm being a wise guy here.
I know what you're saying. Yeah. I don't know in which way. I'm not saying that he's evil or that any of these people are awful, but I'm just saying it's a possibility. I was thinking it's a possibility. I don't know.
No, your thoughts are right, but just to give you my view of it, Trump is a fifth element within the Republican Party.
Right.
And he's not gone through the system. He has not made deals, and he doesn't, I guess, owe anyone in the political sense any favors. No, I didn't donate $100,000 to him, so I can't call him up and ask for certain deals.
Right.
And let's face it. So the Republicans, he's not one of them.
Right.
So they're abhorred at this, and they're using the system to take him out. Now he's taking advantage of their system. The Democrats run a much tighter machine with all their super delegates, and they've been telling the Republicans.
The Democrats, you're right, are more dictatorial than the Republicans in a way.
Well, they're more in comrade. They're more in lockstep. Come on, I mean, let's get on the program.
I like Bernie.
Well, that's okay.
Trump,
I'm not.
I think have I said this before? Have I called into you and said this before? And Trump is speaking to a true sentiment in this country. There's a lot of people that are just so tired of all the baloney that goes on in the political parties, and the people not saying what they think, and he has somewhat of a legitimate voice there. But still, I really am not convinced that Trump
is Bernie.
legitimate. I'm not convinced that he's...
And so does Bernie have some legitimate things.
He has some legitimate stuff to say, sure he does.
They're both saying legitimate things, except Trump does get a little more colorful.
And to say deport all Syrians, build a 50-foot wall, and who knows what else if he got in. God forbid, I just hope that if he does get in, he would keep it to that sort of outsider trying to make things a little more honest within things, whatever things he pursues, unless they are idiotic, stupid things. Like he said, that's all he said he'd do. That's all I can think that he's said anything about. It's the only thing he's been serious about or said anything about the issue. Build a 50-foot wall, 2,000 miles, and get rid of all illegal immigrants. That's not a platform.
But if you look at both extremes, the left and the right have been rancorous. The left has but they deserve to be heard, though. I mean,
they deserve to be heard.
And they're not all wrong.
No, they're not
okay?
all wrong.
And the center hasn't been right because people are tired of the center.
Right.
Not to decide is to decide.
I know.
So,
but look, it's going to come down to isn't it going to come down to Mrs. Clinton against Donald Trump? Probably. Unless they have it even more. I'm thinking it's possible the Republicans have it figured even another way with Trump in cahoots. Namely, you come in and you'll probably get a plurality of delegates, which he seems to have done, and then it'll be a brokered convention, and then we'll put in whoever we want. I'm so paranoid. I think they do that. The Democrats will do the same thing. They do it, you know.
Well,
it's just crazy. It's just crazy.
You can better believe
it. I'm so tired of all the corruption, especially in the primaries. The general election goes well. That serves us well. That is a democratic form of vote. We all get to vote for who we want to. We don't get to vote on each policy, but we get to vote for who we think we like their view on policy is. You know, that's the Republican, quote, operative word, right? Meaning we vote, it's a republic, that kind of word, you know. It's not a true democracy, or else we'd all be voting for everything, which is crazy.
Well, I think usually the left and the right, the Democrats and Republicans, who are more alike than you might imagine.
Right. Sure they are.
Yeah, they're more alike than you might imagine.
Yeah.
They get together and they pick their candidates.
Yep.
And the deal's already made. It's like going to the casino and you bet on two teams.
That's what I'm saying.
And they've already, the deal's made, so they say, well, look, you have a democracy. You go out and vote.
Yeah.
But these people that we're putting in have already been vetted by those parties and the system to continue the you know.
But you're getting some odd. It's no choice to me. Either Mrs. Clinton. She's too. It's past her time. She was good as the wife, and I don't think she did bad. Maybe not in Benghazi. Maybe they missed that one. Maybe she really messed that one up. And I don't care about the servers. I don't care about that. But she's been a good. She was a good Secretary of State. She was a good Secretary of State. Yeah. She didn't bother anybody. Our other friends.
Wait a minute. Whoa. I defer as far as her being a good Secretary of State. The Middle East is a mess. Kerry's done little to improve it. Obama's foreign policy has been woefully lacking and is failure, and he's looking for some successes to
That's
have.
True. No, but she didn't do anything to mess up what was the catastrophe that was going on anyway.
Oh, sure she did. Look at Benghazi. Look at Libya. With Libya,
I don't know about Benghazi.
Well, Libya
I don't really know about what.
Oh my God!
I don't know whether she was responsible for that or whether indeed if I'm an ex-military guy and I'm appraising that situation over that is volatile, and it would seem to me that I don't take orders from state. I'm calling my own guys in. You know what I'm saying?
Well, but
it's just impossible. It's impossible.
They've relieved a lot of other officers and generals for far less. Yeah. But you know, getting back to your cynicism, both parties will spy on you. Both parties start illegal wars. Yep. Both parties are owned by the banks.
Right.
Both parties will continue the drug war. It's been a failure.
Follow the money.
Yeah.
Right.
Both parties are slaves to corporations.
Right.
You know, both parties continue the police state. I mean,
so you agree with
you know,
me, Ralph.
I mean,
it's no choice. Look at what we got.
Yeah,
we got Trump. We got
see, that's why it'll come.
Shades of the same controlled situation.
Comrade,
I'm not going to vote.
Comrade,
I'm not a comrade. Believe me,
comrade,
I like the
it'll come to revolution.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it isn't going to come to revolution.
Well, it'll be balkanization at the least.
I'm just saying.
Listen, you see what's happening around
country. I hope our Constitution is strong enough so that even if a Hitler gets elected, which is I never thought could be possible with the good common sense of most voters, but it's gone because a lot of voters who think of it are just so repelled by the whole. They're just not even voting.
but that's listen.
Yeah.
My friend.
Yep.
Making sausage is messy. Okay.
No, I know.
Okay, so that's the human. Listen, and I did, you know.
That's the good.
If you have the temperament, and listen to the. I know one lady won't,
I'm not asking
listen.
For anybody perfect.
No,
but
way. You know, we're coming into Palm Sunday.
Right.
Jesus Christ was considered the Lamb, and the politics and putting him to death.
Right.
We're no different than the politics being practiced today. And I think you have to put it in that perspective, okay? And I'm not trying to create an analogy between...
Right. Nothing really ever changes, ever.
No.
No.
I mean...
Right.
No, listen, the same software in our mind, the good, the evil, the corruptness of man, was still in their minds back then. The instruments have changed.
The same stuff, but it's all the same.
Well, the instruments have changed and how they had a horse and car. Today we've got a car with an engine. So things have changed in tools. I'm going to let you go.
Well, and Jesus, let me just say this, Ralph, one thing. And, of course, Jesus, when he came to Jerusalem for Passover, he overthrew the money changers' tables in the synagogue.
Thank you for bringing it up, because I was...
Let's not forget that. Let's not forget that. And that took courage, and I loved him for that.
No, but
I loved him
and you, it's funny you mentioned that, and I'm glad you reminded me of it. Jesus Christ, when he threw the tables, the money changers tables up and over, threw them over. Those were the great ancestors, the Goldman Sachs, and to Rothschild banking,
that's my point,
and
I'm not advocating
to J.P. Morgan. So those were the great. That was their ancestors.
I'm just pointing out, like you and like Trump sympathizers realize, it's all controlled, and that's what they're going.
And you know what though? But you know what?
Out about it a little bit.
But you're starting to become aware.
But
so now,
but you can't just do that. You can't just.
No, but most people
speak like Archie Buncher. You've got to be able to present to me something that you're going to do. He said nothing about what he's going to do. Because he's controlled.
Well, we'll you know what?
I could go wrong.
See you later.
Okay, Ralph. Nice to talk with you. Have a nice evening.
Yeah, you too. Bye. Very good afternoon to you, call. You there? Hello?
Hello?
Hi. Hi.
Oh, I was listening to the radio. I turned it on, and you were talking about getting a radio.
Yes, ma'am.
I was interested in looking for actually an internet radio. Is that what you were talking about?
I can give you some advice on internet radios. The radios I have are made for terrestrial listening, picking it up
They're
off
made for what?
terrestrial. In other words, off the air. But internet radios are a different breed. They do have an internet radio. I can show you. I don't have one in stock, but I can show you.
In other words, what you have at your
a regular terrestrial radios made to pick up a station like a regular radio does. They're made to pick up an antenna.
In other words, it's a better reception. I have a radio that sometimes gets WBSM at night.
Yep.
Sometimes it doesn't.
Well, these radios have better ears for listening at night, correct? Or in the daytime, for that matter, too.
Oh,
and if you want,
your place.
Yes, I have. I'm out of stock on a little pocket job. I sold those out. I got another case of those coming in, but everything else I have in stock.
And how much are those? How much?
They start at $60 and up.
60. Okay, well, thanks so much.
Yep, stop by and we'll talk about it.
Thank you.
Okay, bye. So, internet radio is a different thing. Internet radio is a good thing to get into if you want to get into, all the online stations. I have one, but I use my laptop for the most part, and I transmit from my laptop. That's another marvelous way to increase your ability to hear different stations and different programs and audiobooks and you name it. I mean, it's almost infinite in the amount of programming and things you can get into. With this little transmitter you hook up to your laptop. It's not rocket science. You don't have to go to MIT to figure this out. Very simple. And I've showed a lot of folks over 60 and many under 60 as well how to use it. Very straightforward. It's not a Bluetooth. It gives you more flexibility than Bluetooth. And actually much easier to use than Bluetooth. And you can send it to every radio in your house, so you don't have to be in front of your laptop or near the speakers to hear it. You can send it, you can be taking a shower and listening to Caruso or an audiobook. Doesn't matter. Anywhere you have a radio to pick up your station broadcasting from your computer. And this little transmitter costs a measly $50, and it can change your world as you know it. So it's very simple to use. And we can, you can come by and see me, and I can give you some ideas about that. Just to... increase your knowledge, and we have to educate ourselves. But it's interesting to see all these politics, and now especially, and believe me, I'm not trying to create an analogy between Jesus Christ and what happened to him, but it's the same thoughts that put him to death then and our practice in politics today. And you can see it coming out because... And I'm not advocating for Trump in any way, shape, or form. I'm a political atheist. I don't believe in either party. But I'm an observer, and I love to study cultures and people. I had read an article in the Wall Street Journal back in November of last year, early November. Wall Street had a good-sized article about how the Republican Party was coming out against Trump before all this business really got started. And they were coming out with them way early, saying that the party wasn't for him and all this. And obviously Trump took off, and now they were still... I think they didn't realize how fast this guy had gained traction. And now they're having a difficult time, the party boys, the rank and file, to control him. So even the left at the highest levels have talked to the boys on the right. And the left and the right, I mean, at the top levels, it's the same club. They drink the same whiskey and smoke the same cigars and work on the same deals, and they have a little twist and turns to the policies to make it more palatable for their constituents. But the goals are the same for both of their at the very top parties. Okay, the goals are the same. Okay, maybe the method on getting there is slightly different. They have to appease their individual groups. So that being said, now that the right, if I'm using that term, or the Republicans, the right, probably not the proper adjective, but the Republicans cannot control him. So now the left is starting to come after him, okay, and trying to disrupt his speeches and things like that. So they're using the Noam Chomsky playbook, okay? Okay, so Mr. Obama, President Obama, is well versed in those measures, and many of his closest colleagues are as well. Okay, that's their playbook. So that's the game. If you're aware of it and you see how it's played, but as more people become aware, it gets tougher for them to lie to you with a straight face. Okay, more difficult. And that's what it's about, is enlightening people. Some people don't want to know the truth, okay, and or at least be informed, to be more aware and to be more cynical when you hear these people come out and tell you things, because they lie through their teeth, okay? They're going to try to get their views across. I have been trying to find, and maybe some of you out there saw this little video of the Republicans' hierarchy having dinner at a nice fancy restaurant, talking about Donald Trump and how they want to take him out. And Mr. Romney, former governor, Mr. GQ, I always said he should be selling men's suits on GQ magazine, has been coming out against him. Maybe he's for him overtly. Maybe he creates more anger for the supporters and they come out to vote. Maybe he's maybe it's that dark, that Romney is actually for Trump, and he's coming out talking bad about him to get more people to just get motivated to come out for him. Okay, that's how these people think, you know. Maybe I'm wrong in that assumption, but I'm saying that's certainly not out of the realm of thought, okay? And this is how they think. This is how they play the game, to help you or to hurt you, okay? Depending if it's in their interest or not, okay? And I think right now, a lot of the people are concerned about their piece of cheese, okay? And what Trump could possibly do to the interruption of their piece of cheese. And it's concerning to a lot of people, and it's not the people you may be thinking about. Okay, this is a lot of the crony capitalists on both sides who support both sides, because to them it's not a difference. Okay, so you just have to think a little differently. Anyway, it's way above us, but you just have to be aware of it. Comrade Obama is going to be in Havana, Cuba. It's unfortunate he's never made a visit to New Bedford. Okay. That's how I look at it, but he'll enjoy some good Cuban rum, and his Cubans certainly make a good cigar. I've had a few in my day, and I've been down in Miami, and there's some good. I've seen these guys make these cigars. Some of the old timers who came from the Workers' Paradise in Cuba, and of course they're using Honduran tobacco, but maybe pretty soon you'll probably be able to buy these Cuban cigars. That'll be the first thing to exchange: Cuban cigars and rum. I don't know if Bacardi is going to get any of their assets back when they nationalize the Bacardi rum distilleries in Cuba at late 50s, early 60s. That's how it is. Anyway, look us up. We sell automobiles, service cars. If you have a problem with your car, please look us up. If you don't have a car and you know someone's experiencing a problem, send them our way. We'll do our best to be fair and help them out. We work with a lot of people to try to save you a buck. Caller, let me grab this caller. Hi, caller, you there? Hello. Hi, you got a minute? You want to say something? Hello? No, I guess not. Okay. Somebody's got stage fright, maybe, or we're not connecting. And we can catch up with you. But anyway, we're running out of time. Thank you for listening. Look us up. We're on Church Street. Call the dealership at 998-1141. And we'll help you out. Thank you for listening. Catch you next week. God bless.